Greetings! We are off to battle to fight Eltharion of Ivres. And we have Rakarth of the Thousand Maws coming in to support. He is our legendary lord. We are playing as the Thousand Maws. And this is part 2 of Rakarth's Pyrrhic adventure because, as you can see, we suffered quite a bit of battle damage fighting against Tyrion. And we have a lot of elves to fight, essentially amounting to 1.5 armies. So lots of elves in there, pretty shiny armor, and lots of dangerous bows. We are still sporting a sorceress of the fire arts, and we have some harpies there doing some flanking. I am retreating with my mammoth just to the edge of the map, just to try and keep it alive. I'm not actually withdrawing it from the battle because there's no point. I don't want to lose the army. I want to just keep damage somewhat controlled as much as possible. So I'm going to be using bombardments and other means to try and weaken the elves before they even come close to... see, they're doing something weird here. And I didn't really want them to link up in this gigantic blob. I wanted them to come a little more scattered. Staggered. I was mixing those words together. So the idea is have the harpies on the flank so that we can try and get to this bolt thrower. But it's an ugly situation. It is still too early with armies that were on their first iterations. And they're not really good at taking care of this level of lots and lots and lots of high elves. And there I whiffed with a lot of fleet bombardments, but this one got me some good damage. So, I don't know how many wasn't time there. And I tried to do this with slowing rather than pausing as much as possible to make the replay run a little bit better, but yes, these are going to be a problem harassing our forces. And in general, we just want to inflict some damage. We don't want to take too much damage in turn at this point in the battle. Having said that, there's going to be a bit of a setup here. So I'll speed it up so that they're firing at the harpies and not doing this. So I'm trying to use Rakarth to send fireballs over there, and while he's looking cool here, he really is not supposed to be there for too long, and I leave him for too long in the end. So I'm just trying to use anything that I can to actually inflict damage on those warriors, and it's a mixed bag. Getting the bombardments going well, especially the level 1 versions of them, is a bit of an acquired taste. So, yeah. It's a little too much time that I spent with Rakarth, close enough. I must have hit him with the bow throwers, too. So now we're getting into the engagement proper, and I'm using this artillery on the flank to just start taking pot shots. And if they take pot shots all battle and nothing is sent to annoy them, that's what happened last battle, and they don't care what shields you have. They absolutely don't care. And besides that, well, yeah, I had Rakarth trying to do something here. It didn't work that well. I had to treat him more, and he did do a little tiny bit of damage, but I'm just trying to whittle down the bolt throughs. But it's a very hard job without artillery dominance of some sort, and I don't have dominance. I have my one starting army artillery piece. My Reaper bolt thrower unit. So we did take damage that we didn't want to there, but it's not the end of the world. Here we're just using the trees and trying to be small targets, essentially. And our one big advantage is our fire sorcerers, in the sense that they have lots of units, lots of blobs, and we're bringing the fire. I'm not using overcharged versions, and that just passed through some of the units I would have loved to bring. So they have some idea what we're trying to do, and I was trying to get the harpies to just charge in, and I figured, there's 5 of them, they'll probably get something happening to some degree. But They're not very brave. So that swimming unit already got chewed up. So I'm trying to use my Black Dragon and get something done. And you see that they're taking pot shots at my lord as well. So, got some damage here from the Black Dragon and one more going ahead to come. It's getting some things done. But she doesn't even have Kindle Flame learned yet. So here, yeah, we tried to do what we could here, but yeah, just barely managed to get something accomplished with that. Otherwise, we would have been taking even more damage from that over the course of the battle. And here we have just ugly frontline fighting. But it's not like what they have here is tremendously good at fighting Dread Spears in the forest. So I do have my Beast Sorceress from the Rakarth army. She's like one level short of having a Dark Pegasus, but she just doesn't have that. So, and now we have Eltharion here. He wants to mess up our artillery. And separated from his army, he's had some help from Tyrion artillery. Now you see that I'm bringing in Rakarth. And that is in the hopes of actually just wiping out that lord with the help of a little bit of weak sword action. But, to be honest, it's not a great matchup. Still, we'll focus on this while stuff in the background is going on from the distance. So yeah, Eltharion, he's not going to get inconvenienced too much by a bunch of weak swords. So I didn't actually stick around with the cause because, I mean, I absolutely couldn't stand to have my lord go down. But remember the Feral Mammoth that I had on standby? I used Whiplash on that and hope that he would just do what he could against Eltharion, and he is doing what he can. And Eltharion is going to be running with some points soon. So you see here that between all the burning heads and everything, we're just trying desperately to do enough damage over enough of this army that we're just bludgeoning it to death. But that definitely got in there and did some damage. And there, the Mammoth went feral and it's just charging blindly, so we could lose it. And that's just a risk of defending the earth. So the elves are hiding all over, excuse me, fleeing all over the place. My forces have been trying to move up. The handbows doing some damage from the Black Ark Corsairs. And here's where we actually broke the enemy completely. And we're just hoping not to lose this Mammoth.
We are broken. All hope is lost.
Everything past this was just trying to pad the victory and get as much damage inflicted on these enemies as we could. So we got Eltharion down. And after that, it was just trying to inflict some more casualties. Now, the thing about this battle, strategically, this wasn't a situation where we couldn't afford to lose. We absolutely could afford to lose. We could afford to retreat. We could afford to have not succeeded in this battle as long as we inflicted immense casualties on the enemy, because economically, I was at a dead end. So, because I couldn't spread around any more money, I couldn't really recruit units, I didn't want to just wipe them out myself, because then I'd get this attack and I'd have less units to deal with it. So I needed to use everything that I had as well as possible. And because I did, those armies of mine are sitting in my territory. They are going to get full replenishment. So that's where my campaign will be resuming. And where we go with that next time in the campaign is going to be trying to wipe out those 4 very damaged High Elf armies, 2 full armies, 2 half armies, and then just rolling up Oath One as rest of the game. So until next time, until we are off to battle again, this has been Jeremiah Bork, and it's been very good doing this.